Executive Officer at Abdul Metro Group. His professional journey commenced in executive management, amassing over 20 years of invaluable experience in the oil and gas industry. He laid a strong foundation in business management before entering the dynamic realm of real estate development as a managing director of Integrated Metroplex Energies Limited (IMEL), which was a foundational part of the success story of Metro and Castle today. He obtained a degree in construction management from the Community College of Baltimore County in Maryland, USA, with a specialized focus on cost control. He holds a double honorary doctorate in estate management and property development from the European American University, Republic of Panama, and a Doctor of Science in Business Management and Administration from the International Entrepreneurship University, USA. In his role as a visionary operation executive, Abdul has successful. His extensive portfolio includes a multitude of projects comprising over 300 units of commercial and residential real estate across various completed and ongoing ventures. Mr. Abdul does not just build structures, he builds people in communities. This he achieves through continuously impacting knowledge, mentorship, and community development. Ladies and gentlemen, if your hands are not too busy, please make welcome Dr. Kunle Abdul.
Afternoon, church. It's a great honor to be here again. I had so many reasons to come back, but I'll still say it's not important, it's not important, it's not important. As soon as I got a message, I said, you see, I have to go. So it's a great honor to be here once again to speak to you guys on a different level this time around. I'd like to appreciate everybody who came out here to look for better opportunities, gain knowledge, and wanting to create impact on different levels that you are. I'd like to say thank you to all the guest speakers that came forward today. I mean, you don't know how important these people are. The DMD of a bank is here. I don't think you understand what I mean. The DMD of a bank is here. And when I walked into the room, when I came, I passed him. And I looked back and said, I passed him again. I sat down quietly. Because 2.5 years ago, I was in his office. I was asking him for 2 billion naira. 2.5 years ago. In his office. I said, okay, you remember me? He said, I said, remember me. I'll remind you. I said, give me your card. I will come back again and disturb you. So it's a great honor to be speaking on the same platform with people like this and every other speaker that has come here to speak. You know, it's an opportunity for me. However, my approach is going to be slightly different. I observed something. Some of the speakers are speaking from the professional standpoint, right? So we have the DMB of a bank that has, you know, been in the professional space, and we have Madam Titi, am I correct? Fumi, that has also been in the professional space, right? On different levels. And then we have our guy that's an entrepreneur. I don't know if you guys heard them speak, right? It's from different angles, completely. An entrepreneurial mindset is very different from, you know, the professional mindset. And fortunately for you, I fall into Oga's side. I'm an entrepreneur. So we think very differently. You know, we don't think like the normal 9 to 5 people. You know, we don't sleep. We work day, night, anytime, call us, we are with you. So I'd like to start by sharing my story briefly before I go into, you know, a few tips I have for you guys. So I went to Lagos State University, and after 6 years in Lagos State University, I got kicked out, so I didn't graduate. I'm saying this because I know some of you will think it's so bad for you, and I want you to know that you have not seen anything yet. I went to one of the worst universities in terms of being, you know, being amongst bad gang. if you know what I mean. And so I know what it means to be there. I know what it means to be completely lost as a person. And I also know what it means to move from that point to be a CEO, employing 168 staff and running 3 organizations simultaneously and running billions in turnover. I know what it means to be that. So today I'll try and share some of my experiences with you guys. Hopefully you take some of my experiences and improve your life, improve yourself so that you can make impact as the case may be. So firstly, after my 6 years in Lagos State University, going to the 7th year, they literally just kicked me out of school. That's the truth of the matter. I just went to the notice board one day and I saw my name. You understand? As part of the school. They don't want to see me again, they're tired. GP low, everything low. And I believe that was almost the turning point for me. I've been there, I've done that, and I asked myself a question. This can't be it. Right? I don't know if anybody understands what I'm saying. This can't be it. After going through that entire cycle in my life, I began to wrestle with God. Because of course I knew I had more to give, but I didn't know how to give. By the way, I was a born Muslim. I'm sure as you can see my name. My name is Abdul Metro Rashid. So I was a born Muslim. I was born in Ojuelegba area of Lagos State, that's Surul area. And then, I moved around a little bit. And after my university days, you don't know what it feels like. 6 years university, your guys are already working, right? Your classmates are working in banks, they are paid employment. And then you are shy to even go and greet them. You are shy to greet them. And then my father was okay, really, he was well to do. He could get me a job. But he's also shy because he doesn't have CV to present. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So I was just there. So I had to make a decision. I had to make a very, very serious decision on how I intend to go about my life. And I started wrestling with God. And I started to rediscover myself. The question is, who am I? I think you guys should write that statement down, that question, and ask yourself, who are you? Because it's almost impossible to make impact if you don't know who you really are. If you are in a space where you are struggling and that is not where your gifting is, you will just keep struggling, you'll be unable to make impact. Do you guys get the gist? So I started my journey by asking that question, who are you? I started the journey by also asking the second question, why am I here? And then the final question, which is the call to action, what must I do? I know I'd wasted so much time, doing all kinds of stuff. And God started to reveal gradually who I was to myself. I started taking the right steps in the right direction. And I started making impact. Now I started by knowing God, obviously. Because of course I had left Islam, so I was in the church, started working in the church. So they're asking the question, who are you, who are you, who are you? And God began to reveal himself to me. Started a small business at that time. I was a diesel supplier. So I had a small truck and I started hawking diesel around Victoria. And it wasn't that much of a bad business because after some time, I think I acquired a property somewhere. And that is where I found my gift. I believe everybody is born in their generation to deliver something. You are not a mistake. You are not a mistake. God does not make mistakes. So if you are here in this time of the world, it means you are here for a reason. It means you are here to deliver something to this generation. As a matter of fact, if you don't deliver it, you have robbed this generation of what God gave you to deliver to them. And if you deliver it successfully, you will make generational impact. So as the case may go, I started my life as a developer. When I left oil and gas business as a supplier, I supplied diesel for I think 5 years. It was a hustle business. I never found joy in doing it. I would jump from one truck to the other. I would supply these companies. It made money, as a lot of guest speakers I said, it's not about the money, it's about fulfillment. So I would do that. In fact, I made so much money, I bought a house, I bought a Range Rover. I would have stayed in the business, but I still didn't find fulfillment. So I remember the first property I bought was pretty dilapidated, so I had to renovate it. As I was renovating my property, people would come and greet me at home. And they would ask me, who did this? Who did that? And I would say, me. They said, who did these tiles? Me. Who did this POP? Me. Who did this? Me. Are you sure? I said, yes. You know what that did to me? That's the revealing who I was to me as a developer. I didn't even know I was doing anything serious. People were telling me that it looks so nice, it looks so good. I said, eh. I started going out and I started looking at similar works, POP tiling, and I would get irritated. Like, what kind of tacky work is this? My brothers and sisters, if you want to find your gift, find what irritates you. I tell people, I have friends who are into fashion. When they see you coming, they will say, why you wear blue belt on black shoes? They are already disgusted at what they see. It is your gift speaking to you. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I started to rediscover myself. And then I started to pursue the goal in real estate. And that's how I was able to transit from not being a graduate, doing a random business, and discovering myself in real estate. So the journey began. I remember after getting married, I moved into this small property I got. It was a 3-bedroom, terrace building. And I remember telling my wife, I said, real estate is capital intensive, but this is what I want to do. Everybody had come to greet us after the marriage in that house. They prayed for us, and I woke up one day at midnight. When you discover your gift, you won't sleep again until you start achieving it one after the other. And I'll be looking at the sky, 2 a.m. I'll be asking questions, and I woke my wife. I said, Madam. She said, what? I said, I want to say something, but it may sound crazy. She said, say it now. I said, can we sell this house? I said, can we sell this house? She said, are you mad? We just got married. Everybody has come to greet us in this house. They are saying, oh, your husband, you even moved into your own house as a married. They praise you. And you woke up some days and say you want to sell the house. You must not be okay. I said, well, she said she would pray about it. And then she came back after 2 weeks and told me, well, we are still young. I prayed about it and I found peace. If that's what God is saying you should do, let's move. I bought the house for 18 million naira. Then I fixed it up for 5 million to make it look brand new. And I only put the house in the market for 5 days. When you found your gifts, you get confirmation per time. You will get confirmation by time. I posted it for 5 days and somebody walked in and saw what I did. The lady, she had checked other properties, similar properties, and she just walked into my own and she looked at it and she said, how much is this property? And I can remember the Holy Spirit telling me, call price that you like, don't hide your this thing. I looked at the woman and I said, Madam, he said, how much? I said, will you pay 45 million? This is property that I bought for 18 million naira, I fixed it for 5 million. I'm talking about less than 18 months down the line. I said, you pay for 45 million. She said, there's no discount. I said, Madam, you see it's well done now. She said, do you have a good title? I said, yes. She said, okay, I'm coming. And she went into her car, she brought her checkbook. I was talking to the head of corporate governance, Petrobras. She had the money right there with her. Signed her check, and I told my wife, I said, this is a confirmation. You understand that we are in the right direction. We picked up that check, and the journey began. 45 million turned into a mega business that employs 180 staff. I remember also saying, I need to go back to school. My wife is a PhD holder. You understand? Getting married to a person who don't get a degree does not add up. You understand? We have to be talking on the same level. Exactly. So I remember telling her, I said, school, And then, we took off my passport and we traveled and then went to school. I went to study the same gift that I just discovered that I had. So I spent a couple of years in the US and I graduated. For those of us that have been fortunate to go out there, you don't even know whether you want to come back or you want to stay there. Because after spending that period of time, things became really easy. You understand? Living in the house is always light. No up never. There's always water. Everything is working. You don't pothole. You understand? No police stopping you on the say, do I want to leave this place and go back to where I'm coming from? You know. So I remember graduating and it became a question. I started to ask God, you know. However, in the US, I've been involved in something called home flipping. So it's not an actual development. You just buy rundown houses, fix it up and sell it and make a margin from it. So while I was graduating, I remember, you know, praying very hard to God. Should I go back? Should I stay? Should I go back? Should I stay? I was given a very good offer. In fact, if you study what I studied, you start at a very good salary rate. Nothing less than maybe $120,000 in a year. You know, so it was very good. I had the option of staying. But I remember the voice, you know, in my heart because I had found my gift, and I remember saying, I have something to deliver back home. And I always ask God, give me confirmation. So I went to church. I used to attend Jesus House, Baltimore, you know, at that time. And there was a session like this, and all I could hear from that session was complaint from people who had bought property in Nigeria and had never seen their property. Can you see the way the vision is beginning to manifest? And I'll be in church and you see one man say, I sent money to that engineer. Even foundation, I've not seen. Even this, I've not seen. That's his own testimony in church. The pain they were going through, and I sat there realizing to myself, this is not a problem for someone like me. However, it's a problem that needs to be solved, right? So I said, well, I told my wife, I said, I'm not going to be part of the people who ran to America and started a 9-to-5 job. I'm going to be part of people who go back home and try and prefer solution to the housing market, you know, in Nigeria. So I remember I packed my bag, you know, got a hold of the few finances that I could, and came back to Nigeria. As a matter of fact, the vision was very clear. Is to deliver affordable housing to Nigerians, you know, and I knew I was well equipped, mentally, physically, you know. And I came back to Nigeria and the ball started. This I'm telling you is 7 years ago, so I don't think it's 20 years ago, you know. My guys here have been in the industry since. We were not too long in the matter. But I'm just saying how God can transit you from where you are to where you're supposed to be, and you can become very impactful. It's not about how far or how fast, it's how well. So I arrived in Nigeria and I contacted some lawyers and I told them, you know, I want to start real estate and I want to play safe. I don't want to come back and get bounced and this and that. And I got two good lawyers and they went into the market for me. And I told them, this is my niche. I want to play in the affordable housing space. There's nothing I cannot build. There's nothing they build in Banana Island, in Atlantis. All those I can construct, manage it. That's what I learned, right? But my message and my vision was very specific. Solving problems in the housing market. Ensuring that there are roofs over everybody's head. You know what I'm saying? So I came back, and it means that I cannot buy land in some places. I can't buy land in Via or Ikoyi because it's no more affordable. Are you understanding? So we have to come towards Ajah axis, right? Where the land is a little bit cheaper. So we came here and, you know, I remember meeting the owner of the land the first time and I told him, I said, sir, I want to buy your land. So he told me it's 120 million, then land will be cheap, maybe 10 million per plot. I didn't want 20 million. That was almost the exact money I had raised from people, you know, my little from myself and family members and this and that. But when you are convinced, you become unstoppable. As the guy was talking, it's 120 million, no, I liked the place. It fits the arrangements that I saw in the vision for affordable housing. You know, and I told the guy, I said, well, I don't have 120 million, but I can give you half. Would you allow me to construct? The guy said yes. Another confirmation. How many people will you meet? You won't pay for the land finish, but he will tell you to go on his land and start building houses. You understand? It seems like I was just talking as I was led. You understand what I'm saying? And I became so bold and convinced in the gifts that I will stand in front of you and I'll just make my wish known to you and you will say yes because I will convince you. So the guy gave me the land. It was about 6,000 square meters. It was 10 plots of land. And I made my first design. It was 21 units of housing, you know. Now, if I cannot pay for the land finish, how can I build 21 houses finish? So at every point I moved in life, I encountered major stumbling blocks along the line, and that's why I tell people, money, when they call figures, it will scare you. But when you have a gift and you're convinced, figures don't scare you anymore. You understand? The project I was embarking on was close to ₦1 billion worth of project. I had only 100 million naira. How do we get there? But if I was thinking of the 1 billion on paper, I wouldn't even move. And that is what a lot of people go through. I don't have capital. I don't have, how many people have been there? I don't have this. I don't have that. I tell people, move first. And don't focus on the capital. It will hold you down. That mindset will hold you down. But whenever I moved, I spoke. So after getting this land, I started my first housing project. Instead of focusing on the 21, I built one that my money can build, right? That was the balance of the money I had. I just built one. It's called the model unit. And it's a very foreign concept because you build a model unit, people come and check it. When they check it and they like it abroad, they will give you money to build their home and they will tell you to deliver in so and so time. So I brought that concept, I fenced the place, I built one model, and I finished that model because I built it by myself. I wanted to show people that I knew what I was doing and I would survive. So people that would come, they would enter and say, who did this? Is this you? Who did this? Is this you? Before you knew it, people started entrusting us with their resources, started entrusting us with the money. And one very fateful day, a guy walked in, wearing kaftan like I am, a bit shabby kaftan, because the guy is from the north. They don't care about how they look. Just entered with his cap and I was just looking at him, saying, this one, is he a customer? Is he here to waste my time? And I remember being in his side and the guy just looking around and looking around. He didn't even fit a profile of somebody that can buy one house. Just looking around. Abdul, this place fine, Abdul. I just kept looking at the guy. He said, how many houses go there here? I said 21. He said, how much is everything? I said, it's not a usual thing that you hear. Am I correct? And I said, sir? He said, everything. I said, 800 million. He said, okay, give me your account number. He didn't verify the land title and he transferred 400 million naira on the spot. And I told him, I became scared. I said, Oga, where do you work, or are you a politician? He said, no, I'm the lawyer to Nigeria's highest goal scorer footballer, Ahmed Musa. And that's how Metro broke through. You understand what I'm saying? And we started the journey from there, and today we have built over 400 housing units. We have 3 retail supermarkets and a warehouse, and we have a very good facility management company. Please, please and please, don't go with the norm. You understand? Come out of your comfort zone and start to break barriers. Thank you very much.
Please let's have those hands together for our first speakers.